Do you know the important differences between a Mexican migrant worker and a South African migrant worker? Let's talk about it. First, let's talk about where they come from. Did you know that Mexican people had half of their land taken by the United States? I'm amazed that people don't know this, but think of every city in the United States, Southwest, that has a Spanish name. That used to be Mexico. You know how Trump is saying he wants to take Greenland, how he wants to annex Canada? That's essentially what the United States did to much of Mexico. We have California, Wyoming, Nevada, Utah, Arizona, parts of Wyoming. I can't even remember all of them. Sometimes Mexican people like to say, we didn't cross the border crossed us. Now let's talk about where South African people come from. The people who are coming here as migrants were colonizers in South Africa. And during the apartheid system, Black people had their citizenship taken away from them, and the country was run by white colonizers. Black people were sent to live in ghettos and Bantustans where they had no legal rights and lived very harsh lives without dignity until there was a revolution and apartheid was overthrown in rather recent history, I think like in the late 80s. Now that white people no longer control South Africa, many of these migrants feel that they want to live somewhere else. And Donald Trump and Elon Musk are here to welcome them. Now let's talk about benefits. You know, like free housing, food, shelter, things like that. Mexican people, Mexican workers, although we see them everywhere, picking our fruits and vegetables, working in restaurants, taking care of our elders, doing construction, doing building, the Mexican laborers have gotten zero free benefits, zero free housing, zero free food stamps, zero free Section 8, because they have been undocumented workers, working here under the radar, not because they wanted to, but because the rich people didn't want to fix the immigration system so they could pay them cheaper. But they did give many of the day laborers Social Security numbers that were not good for anything but helping them to pay taxes into the system here. So yes, they've been paying into the system but not getting any benefits. Now let's talk about the South Africans. They'll be here under refugee status, so they will be entitled to housing, food support, whatever someone on a low income level is entitled to in the state where they live, they will be entitled to it, and perhaps more. I don't know what the deal is that Donald Trump has set up for them, but they will be like the Venezuelan people that were here. The Venezuelan people also had a protected status. They were here legally because the United States had caused with sanctions, starvation, and, a humanitarian crisis in the United States' attempts to throw out a so-called socialist government the United States didn't like. So the South African immigrants will get these benefits that MAGA people like to talk a lot about. But understand, the Mexican day laborers, the Mexican migrant workers never received these benefits, but paid into the system. These are just things that, no matter what your opinion on immigration is, that I wish all American people, all United States citizens, I just wish people understood that.